Okay, hello everyone. My name is Marco Rey, your math teacher. Welcome, year 9. This video I'm doing it with the purpose to practice some of the things that we have seen in class. And this is like a recapitulation altogether. So let's begin. In the first one, we have simplified the following expression using exponential properties. So, in this exercise, we have to use the properties we saw in class. In class, we saw these properties to work with this type of problem. So, the first thing we must do, first I will copy the exercise down here. Wait. So I don't have to write it all again. Right? And well, we can see a lot of things happening here at the same time. So, the first thing we must do, we have, first here we are going to distribute the exponent to each one of the numbers inside the parentheses. So, this will be 9 to the power of 2, x to the power of 3, but when we are distributing an exponent and we have another exponent, we multiply the exponents, okay? So 2 times 3 will be 6. 2 times 1, here the exponent is supposed to be 1, if you don't see anything, it will be y to the power of 2. Z is to the power of 5 here inside, but we multiply with the exponent 2. So now we will have c to the power of 2 times 5, 10. Okay, we are done with this one. We don't need to write the parentheses anymore. Now, what we see here is that this exponent, first of all, is with negative. We never want the exponents with negative. So what we have to do first, when you have a negative exponent, here in the property number 9, we have to, give me a second, wait, I know what happened. As you can see here, we have to switch the places of A and B. Okay, A and B, they switch places, so we just move it. We flip these places, these continue like a division, and we are going to copy this again, but we have to switch, okay? We have to switch places, switch, okay? We switch places, 3y to the power of 8 over x to the power of 5, and we have z to the power of 2. Now, when you switch the places, what is going to happen is that the negative exponent is not going to be negative anymore. This exponent will be positive. That was the thing we were looking for. After this, we are going to repeat the same process we saw before. We can solve this 9 to the power of 2, which is going to be 9 times 9, 81. We can distribute this. In here we are going to have 3 to the power of 2, y to the power of 16 over 5 to the power of 10, and z to the power of 4. As you can see, what I'm doing here is multiplying the exponent 2 with 8, 16, 2 with 5, 10, 2 with 2, 4. Afterwards, we are done in this part. What we have to do is, first, you can see here that you have division of fractions. You never would have this, okay? You will never use this. Division of fractions, it's quite complicated to understand. So what we have to do with this is convert it to a multiplication. When you convert this into multiplication, there is only one rule. The fraction here, we have to flip it. We are going to flip it on places. So now we copy the same 81 x to the power of 6, y to the power of 2 over z to the power of 10. And this division, we don't want it a division. We want this as multiplication. So we will write it as multiplication. But what is going to change? This fraction. This fraction, we have to flip it. We flip it. And now, well, this 3 to the power of 2 is 9. It will look like this. Okay, we are almost done. Now, when you are in this point that you have the two fractions without parentheses and you have multiplication, we are going to multiply in a straight line. First, we have the number 81. 81 we copy. Now let's look for the x's. We have x here and x here. I don't know if you remember what happens with the exponents when you are doing multiplication. What happened with the exponents is that we need to add them up. So 6 we have to add with 10. So 6 plus 10 it will be 16. Now y, it doesn't have another y, so we just copy it. And last but not least, we have z to the power of 4. We are done with the part up here, so let's continue. What do we have down now is that, and the only number is 9, so we copy 9. We have y to the power of 16 and z to the power of 10. Now, as you can see, I always try to write the letters, the variables, x, y, z, in alphabetical order. It's better. Now, here we can simplify this. 81 divided by 9, we can simplify it, and it's going to be 9. Afterwards, this x to the power of 16 doesn't have anything else. We don't have another x, so we will leave it there. But be careful, because when we go to the other letter, y, you will see that we have y to the power of 2, and down here we have y to the power of 16. So in my next step, what I have to do, we have to write the 9, we copy the x to the power of 16, and afterwards the exponent that is up here, which is 2, we need to subtract it with the exponent down here, 16. Now, if you're wondering why we are doing that, it's because the property tells me whenever you have division of exponents, you may see here, it's not complete. Whenever you have division of exponents, the exponents will have to be subtracted. The number up minus the number down. Here is happening the same. The number up minus the number down. The number up 2 minus the number down 16. And the same happens with c. We have c to the power of 4 up here, and we need to subtract it with 10. So let's finish this exercise. As you may see, what do we have here? We have 9x to the power of 6, y 2 minus 16, it will be minus 14 if you put in your calculator. Z is going to be 4 minus 10 minus 6. Now, the last step is, please remember, negative exponents. I don't want negative exponents. In the exam, I will always ask you to leave your answer with positive exponents. And for that, we have to remember that always, when you have negative exponent, it can be, for example, 7, you can make it positive only by copying the same down, but changing the sign. For example, here in number 8, you may see that this is minus 7 if it's up here, but if you put it down, now it's positive 7. So that's what we are going to do. We have x, this is 16, I'm so sorry, this is 16 as well. We have x to the power of 16 over y to the power of 14 times z to the power of 6. And we are done with the first exercise. Now, the next one, this will be for you to do it. And well, to make sure that you're watching the video, here I will put an Easter egg. If you show me this tomorrow, completed, you will have one exercise complete. I don't know if you're watching a video, this video, sorry, but in the exam you will have 2 of these exercises, like the exam you have here in the board. But if you're watching the video and you show me, Mr. I did B, I will put, you will have to do only one, not the 2 of them. What are the conditions? The conditions are come to me in silence or just raise your hand. Don't make your friends to notice. If I see you are telling your friend about this, it's not going to count, neither for you or your friends. Okay? So with that said, let's continue. In number 2 here, in number 2, this you don't have to use calculator for this exercise. The K here is a mistake. Find the value of 27 to the power of 3 over 9 to the power of 4. This I will explain it as a review for tomorrow. 27, I can write it as 3 to the power of 3, right? 3 to the power of 3, because 27, you decompose it into 3, 3, 3, in this way. So we are going to write 3 to the power of 3, and this blue 3 here. Down. Now here you have 9 to the power of 4. 9 can be written as 3 to the power of 2. So we are going to write 3 to the power of 2. And this 4 that is in blue color, we are going to put it there. Now, what happens when we have the exponent of an exponent? We multiply them. 3 times 3, it's going to be 9. And 4 times 2 is going to be 8. So we have 3 to the power of 8. Now, what happens when we have the same number and the exponents are different in a division? You are right, we have to subtract. This is going to be 3 to the power of 9, and we subtract 8. 9 minus 8 is going to be 3 to the power of 1. And we are finished with that. Now, we have to solve these operations. They are quite short. Here, make sure you show the process, because I need to see the process. Otherwise, I will understand that you just put this in your calculator. To make this, I set a rule. First step, we are going to do a first, a 5.18 times 10 to the power of 16 plus 3.2 times 10 to the power of 5. Here, we have to look for which exponent is the lowest. The lowest one is this. This is the lowest. So we have to make this one not 10 to the power of 6. We have to make it 10 to the power of 5, as well as this one. So to make that, let me show you a trick. Whenever you move right, what is going to happen is that 6 will decrease. So it's not going to be 5.18 anymore. It's going to be 51.8. So again, if you move the decimal point one place to the right, what is going to happen is that the exponent will decrease in 1. Now you can see both numbers 51.8 and 3.2, they have the same notation form. They have the same times 10 to the power of 5. So what we have to do is add 51.8 with 3.2. You can use your calculator if you want for this addition. If we do this, 51.8 plus 3.2 is going to be 55. So the answer will be 55 times 10 to the power of 5. And we are finished. Now we have something which is quite similar, but it's even shorter and easier. We have 15 times 10 to the power of 12 times 6.5 times 10 to the power of minus 4. This is even shorter because in multiplication and division we don't need to go to the lowest exponent. We are only going to do this straight. We are going to multiply 15 with 6.5. 15 times 6.5, we can use the calculator in this one. It's going to be 97.5. Now, be careful with this step. Here, when we have to multiply 10 to the power of 12 times 10 to the power of minus 4, what happens with this 12 and minus 4 is that we have to add them. So we have 12 plus minus 4. If you do this in your calculator, you will have 10 to the power of 12 minus 4 equals 8. So, what is going to be my result? 97.5 times 10 to the power of 8. Okay? We are going to finish this in a second part.